Yo gang. Alright. So this is gonna be a very quick and dirty movement tutorial for Bubsy right now. A lot of people are trying to get into the game, so I'm just gonna get something out. The one thing I won't be touching on are the spring launches. That's mainly used in this level so far. There might be a few later on down the line. I don't know how to do those well, so we're just gonna skip over that for now. I just want to get something out as like quick as possible. So the main things to go over are the like basic movement tech. So you got your like flip jumps, your double jump, your glide, and your pounce. So these are going to be very useful for crossing large gaps, but you won't see them used too much on their own. You'll see them combined with ball. So while you're in ball form, you can hold R2 to boost, right? And this gives you a lot of momentum, which you can preserve in the air while maintaining your height if you quickly exit and enter ball form and then use one of the 3 movement options I just listed. So it'll mainly be jump and this glide. So those are the main 2, but pounce will set you to a set movement, a set movement speed whenever you use it. So that will be used last in any change that involve ball cancels, because it will cancel your momentum and then give you the momentum you would have out of just a pounce. So, and a lot of the times you're going way faster than that with ball. So the main way to ball cancel is enter, you enter it and then like jump, and then you exit and enter it back after doing one of the movement options. And there's a very short delay between that. So if I'm gonna do it one more time, so it's like bam 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 bam. So it's kind of like a rhythm rather than doing it as fast as possible. If you try to do it as fast as possible, you're likely going to end up messing it up. I think the main one is actually the glide. The glide seems to come out a bit later, so you can double jump cancel pretty quickly, but you need to wait like a half second for the glide. So that's the main tech that you'll see like throughout a run to make it over large gaps, like say over here when you're going towards this launch. Go over here and do this, which I'm not going to do. I forgot I had power-ups. I was like, what's happening? So that's the main tech, right? Then you have launches, which are... Yo. Okay. Which are when Bubsy interacts with some collision like so. It doesn't always have to be like a perfect like cylinder, but this is the log I use to launch up there in my safe route for this level. So when you're about to collide with this, you want to jump and hold it, because while you have the jump button held down, Bubsy will bounce off of stuff. So let me go ahead and try to give an example of that right here. So this would be my route through the level. Then we jump like right as we're about to hit it. That was a little too early. Try it one more time. And we can just skip to another piece of tech if I don't hit it. There we go. So that's not enough height to make it all the way. I maybe could have saved it if I wall climbed better. But this is a perfect segue into a different method. So this is mainly used in my route for the end game level, which is like a spoiler. So I'll give a warning before going into there to show another example. So you can collide off of the corners of most platforms, and like via like a little setup where you go outside, or off the edge, I mean, rather, and then enter ball form and hold forward and jump like that. There we go. Perfect. That's a really useful thing for some setups, for some levels. Really quick, I want to touch on those boost pads. So when you're holding boost in the ball form, you will get set to a certain like speed cap, and a lot of these boost pads will take you over that. So if you hold this down, you can see I go about to the end of this. I'm gonna have to retry a level real quick to get back up there. I didn't think about that. Hold up. Hold up. Wait. There we go. That's what a launch is supposed to look like. So if I instead let go, you can see I go a pretty significant distance further, and that's because the boost pad takes you to a higher speed value than just the ball on its own. So by letting go, you can coast along at that speed that you get from the boost pad. So that's a very minor bit of time save, but for the big launches in some of the levels, that's actually like very significant. Like you can almost make it to the tree with that momentum preservation and ball cancels. So really quick, I said I was going to go over and give one more like corner bounce example. So spoilers if you haven't gotten to the end of in-game gauntlet. Alright, so here there's a huge one you can do right here. You can see this is not really a very rounded corner, but you can still do a little too close to it. There we go. So that's the other form of launches, the setup based ones. You want to walk along the edge of like either an edge or a slope surface like these trees. We use these in one of the levels as well to get a launch. It can be very useful. So that's the main like basic, well not basic, but the main like fundamental tech of Bubsy. And I might leave an addendum once I properly learn spring launches and how those work. Or somebody else can make a more proper, like, in-depth tutorial after we start learning the game more and get used to more of the nuance of the movement system. Alright. Hope that helped. Let me know if you have any other questions. I can probably answer them if I see the comment or whatever. It's probably an easier thing to ask in the Discord for advice like that. You'll probably get an answer way faster. So if you want, that should also be in the description as well. Yeah. Peace.